Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, welcome back to the car, welcome back to Cornwall, welcome back to winter. It is now winter, we are into December and it is cold. All of a sudden somebody switched the thermostat to the off position and the UK is pretty freezing. Some parts of the UK last night hit negative 12.5 degrees Celsius. Negative 12 degrees Celsius is unpleasant. Parts of Cumbria had 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, which is a lot. That's a lot of snow. That's too much. And about 10 miles in that direction through the side of the car and just carry on 10 miles as the crow flies, you will hit Red Ruth. And that is as far as the snow reached. For you see, this part of the United Kingdom is called Cornwall, and more accurately, this bit is called Penwith, and the width of the land is only about 10 miles wide. So it's 10 miles wide between coast to coast, and about 28 miles in that direction is Land's End. And Land's End is where the UK just kind of runs out and you end up in the Atlantic. The Atlantic provides us with a bit of warmth. It's like a little hot water bottle wrapped around the county, which means if it snows here, at this point in Cornwall, the rest of the UK just has a big skull and crossbones over it, and it's just basically encased in a block of ice. That is how bad it would be. But it's been very cold in the flats as well. So as I've been recording, I have been wearing fingerless gloves because in a flat that has storage heaters, it's been pretty bad. It's been pretty bad. I turned the heaters on. One of them had a bit of a problem. I was like, I've turned it on and it's not doing anything. All right, cool. Well, I don't want to mess around with the switch because there's a lot of electricity that goes into a storage heater, quite a bit. So I turned the other heater off. I had to go to the fuse box and look at the little blinking light and then just kind of play with it. From what I remember from previous years, it doesn't quite work properly. I think I'm going to need to get an electrician to look at it. There's a cat. But it kind of works satisfactorily for now. So it's about 16 degrees in the flat. It was 13 last week. And I have been running the candle heater. So on Tech and Sundry, and I'm just going to navigate this junction, which I'm glad I looked, because we got a car and a push bike and a van and another car. We got a lot of stuff here. And they biffed that T-junction on the push bike. I'm going to go right ahead. Okay, just have to move your head around the A-pillar, because otherwise sometimes you'll look and a car will be hidden behind one of these A-pillars. A-pillar, B-pillar, C-pillar. I'm going to give her plenty of space and go through here, and then more space again. Good. There's nothing like being on a push bike and having a car going way too close to you. It's kind of scary. Anyway, yeah, it's been very cold. So Thursday was when I was recording Stranded Deep, and it was 13 degrees Celsius, or about 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and I was just like, this is not good. This is unbearable. So the candle heater that I built on Tech and Sundry a few years ago now, it must have been last year. I made some revisions to it. It's now, a lot of slate has been put down so that any of the candles, if they do spill over, can't ignite the surface that they happen to be on, which is a chopping board, so I can just move the whole thing around. And I've just cranked up the little flower pots, because what you do is you put candles underneath a pair of flower pots, and the flower pots heat up and radiate heat. And I was like, is this actually doing anything? Well, earlier I had it on, but I put 4-hour candles in, and some of them went out, and you could feel it. You could feel it when the candles went out. So yeah, a combination of this thing. Boy, that's not good. That level crossing is bad. You could feel it when the candles went out on your hand, so the infrared radiation goes away and the coldness of the room creeps in. You might have thought it would be glamorous. The life of a YouTuber would be glamorous, but no, you just wrap yourself in duvets and hope for a speedy spring. Speaking of the life of a YouTuber, yeah, we have been skipping through that 1,000 subscriber mark like a spaceship skipping through the upper atmosphere, and that's been a bit of a ride, hasn't it? So we broke 1,000 subscribers a couple of weeks ago, and then we didn't. We went down by like 11, and then we came up steadily by a few, and then we went down and came up, and yeah, I'm gonna slow down and let this person through. Which one is the flashers and which is the washers? I'll just let them go through. I can never remember which one's flasher and which one's washer. Everything, like, this side's washer and this side's flasher, but I usually mess it up and end up just washing the windshield instead of letting someone go. Yes. So the life of a YouTuber, not that glamorous. Yeah, we've been skipping through that 1,000 subscriber mark up and down like nobody's business. It's been a bit of a ride, so that's been fun. I'm going to tuck myself in if we can. Ooh, there's a lot of people out today, considering it is nearly 3 o'clock on a Sunday in the winter. We're not far from the shortest day of the year either, which is kind of a fun one. Yeah, so I haven't done anything to mark 1,000 subs yet. I think I'm going to leave it for the number to sort of settle. And you can predict how the number will go up and go down. Flooding, you love to see it. Slow down for this. Oh yeah. So yeah, instead of just saying 1,000 subscribers, now I can enable all this stuff on the YouTubes and do like a 1,000 subscriber video. No, you want that number to settle. You really want that number to settle. So 1,000 plus whatever percent. And there is like a trend. You can go on. I think it's Social Blade or one of these sites, and you can see like a projected subscriber count, and you just kind of wait for that to get to where it needs to be. Slow down. I think the pull-in on that side is kind of flooded and covered in mud, so yeah. The weather down here has been awful. We haven't got the snow, but we've got plenty of rain, and it is freezing rain at that. So yeah, that's been an interesting one. And that car up ahead has stopped. Oh no, they are moving. So yeah, I was thinking about doing like a 1,000 sub special video, but I kind of want to get the others involved, like James and Nick and Alex and everyone. So they wouldn't be for a while, mostly because James now works in a bakery. He's Daddy Cakes. That's James over at twitch.tv /cosmic_guppy. If you want to go and search him out. But yeah, he works in a bakery now, so he's Daddy Cakes. He's the cake daddy. He does painting and stuff on his streams, so you know, that's fun. But he works in the morning. Nick, on the other hand, he works at night. Alex works whenever he works, because he's working in a pub, so he kind of starts at some point in the morning and then ends up at whatever time at night. And I do a 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. So yeah, trying to get everyone together, and I think there's like 40 miles between us all. And Nick lives the other side of some very scary roadworks. Because we got stuck in those roadworks on one of the vlogs a few vlogs ago. So yeah, just trying to get everyone in the same place at the same time will be kind of tricksy. As far as the channel goes and videos and things, I'm doing the videos as and when. There is an amount of just having to weave recording videos around life in general. I would like to do some more supermassive videos, and I will. But it's kind of an intense thing to do. I'm just going to check this junction, left and right. Left is clear, right is kind of clear. Yep, we're okay. It's kind of blind to the right, so you want to take it easy. So yeah, supermassive games. Those are House of Ashes and Little Hope and The Quarry. And the thing about those games is that it's a 2-hour recording, but you've got to be on constantly because it's a sudden quick time event every now and again, and in order to play you have to be ready for those quick time events. So it's kind of exhausting. You get to the end of a 2-hour session and you're just kind of exhausted. I will be doing The Devil in Me, which is the last one in the current season, and I believe that follows H.H. Holmes, the murder hotel, the Chicago murder hotel. So they kind of based it on something that I know quite a bit about. So that'll be a fun one to do, but I wanted to give myself a little break because I found House of Ashes kind of quite intense, and we are running up to Christmas, so I'm also having to do like Christmas stuff for the family, like planning and doing stuff for that. So yeah, life isn't exactly smooth, and I'm still going to work. So I work 9 to 5, and then the channel gets wrapped around the free time, gets wrapped around family time. So it's kind of, yeah, there's a lot of time management that has to go on. So you got to be a little bit on the ball. And I've been doing other 2-hour sessions, things like Baldur's Gate 3, which I've been actually really enjoying. It might be a hard one to watch because the way the camera moves in it is a little tricky. And one of the reasons I have never done like a recording for a game like Diablo 2 or Diablo 3 is that they're kind of hard to watch. So hopefully with Baldur's Gate and all the story segments in it, because there is a lot of story. That game is like caked up on story. There is so much story in the game. That you do something and you think, oh, there's going to be nothing here. The developers are not going to put anything here. Well, they did. Let's check this junction. We're clear, good. Yeah, I was recording earlier and there was a section and I was like, there's going to be nothing here. And then I ended up talking to a bird and I'm like, that's pretty amazing. It's amazing that they've had the game in early access for so long and they've just put so much detail into it. The Steam like end of year awards have come up and I've voted for Baldur's Gate for pretty much everything that I can. And the one section that you couldn't vote for Baldur's Gate for was the I think the Labor of Love award, and I gave that one to Disco Elysium because I love that game as well. And it's raining again. Excellent! You loved it. Well, it means Cornwall. It means Cornwall in winter. Which is going to add to all the rest of the floodwater, I suppose. Can we have a little bit of wipiness? Good, excellent. So yeah, 1,000 subscribers up and down. It's not a problem. As far as the channel goes, yes, the videos will happen at a rate that they will just happen at. Things are going mañana. I think mañana is definitely a way to look at the channel. I don't want to turn myself inside out getting videos out. I don't want to leave you guys in a drought where you just don't get any videos. But at the same time, yeah, mañana. I think it's Spanish. It's just like just leave it till tomorrow. It sounds like procrastinating, but it's not. We're getting out quite a few. I mean, Stranded Deep is still progressing as a video series, and I figured that I've been doing that for like 7.5 years now. We're up to 700 and something videos, and it's ridiculous how long that's been going on for, considering there's not actually that much in the game to do once you've played it through once. So yeah, that's a curious one. God of War I've been playing through, and that continues to be, I like that. It's a fun game, an action-adventure game. Not a game that I would normally have picked up, but it's something that has been amusing me. And I've been looking up the Norse gods more recently. I've been looking up Loki's children, which is Hel, who was a girl born half alive, half dead, and ended up ended up ruling essentially the underworld. There was Fenrir the wolf, who the Aesir kept binding in stronger and stronger chains, and he bit off Tyr's hand. It's like, well, I'll let you bind me, but Tyr, you're going to put your hand in my mouth as a sign of trust. And Tyr's like, yeah, all right. And the Aesir just kind of betrayed Fenrir, and then Fenrir bit Tyr's hand off. The thing about Fenrir is that during Ragnarok, Fenrir would eat the sun. So that was a fun thing. And then there's the World Serpent, whose name I keep forgetting. It's not Gormenghast, because that's the name of a story. Yeah, for some reason, I just got this hole in my memory, and I keep reading up the World Serpent, but that was the third child of Loki, and Odin tossed it into the ocean where it became so big it wrapped around the world. And you see the World Serpent in God of War, and you are in Tyr's vault. So all of these gods are present in God of War, and it's actually been a very fun playthrough. I do have a game already queued up for post that. So every time someone says, can you do this? Can you play that? Chances are I already have something queued up. And the way I choose games is that I choose a game that is likely to amuse me rather than be good to record. Because I ain't gonna play a game that is just not interesting to me. Like, I was asked to play like a horror game, and I looked at it, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a horror game, and I saw someone playing it on a live stream, and to be honest, not my thing. I just don't get scared by horror games. Like, horror is not scary, especially as someone who writes horror short stories. Like, playing a horror game, typically it's just jump scares, and jump scares are the worst. I can't do it. It's not that good, not that interesting. So chances are, if you ask me to play a horror game, I ain't doing it, because I'm not going to have fun doing it, and I won't do it just for the views, just for the lols. I'm not going to do something for a May. I'm more likely to just play a game because it entertains me, and hopefully it entertains somebody else. Yeah, I was on a Discord thing last night. Not on the channel's Discord, but I was on somebody else's Discord, and I was in like a group chat, and somebody says, somebody called my voice attractive, and I was just like, really? All right. Yeah, thank you. The thing about doing a YouTube channel for like a decade is that one of the things you have to get used to is the sound of your own voice. You cannot get away with not hearing yourself and looking at yourself quite often. I prefer profile, I prefer this than sitting in front of a webcam at home, because I just don't like the way I look. But the way I sound is something that I've had to get used to. And you don't sound in your head the same as you sound in real life to everyone else, because you hear yourself through the bone of your skull, and you hear yourself through your nasal cavity and all that sort of stuff, and it changes the pitch and the bass and the tone and the treble, and it's very different. So yeah, I've had to get used to hearing myself. And currently I'm using a lavalier mic. I can feel it, I can feel the clip against my skin. That person has right away and should go. We are at a Mexican standoff here. Go, please go. I think they got their license from a box of cornflakes. Ooh, please go. All right, well, we're just gonna have to have fun following this lad. All right, yeah, so you tend to hear yourself differently to how you hear yourself recorded. I'm using a Shure SM7B and a Xenix 802 USB at home to get the audio into the computer, and a FET head as well to amplify the sound before it hits the machine. So I do a lot of equalization before it goes into the computer, because all the graphic equalization. I don't want to have to do that after I've done a recording every single time I do a recording. I'll do it here because I'm using a lav mic, but when it comes to being at home, no. Recording stuff at home, don't want to have to mess around with the graphic equalizer. So that's all done through the Xenix on the way in. But it means that I have, I guess, as clear a voice as I can and as natural as I can. I think going back and listening to the old videos where I was using a Samsung CO1U, there was a bit more bass in the voice, I think, but it had a lot of issues with things like treble, and it wasn't quite as clean. So the new microphone, or I say the new microphone, I had it for a while now. I should hope it's as clear as it can be, so it's more like me talking right into your ear holes. I mean, that's the plan. I do spend a lot of time on audio, cleaning it up and making sure it's the best it can possibly be, which also means compressing the ever-loving crap out of any recording. But that is something you get on the radio anyway. If you've ever heard someone speaking to you on the radio, chances are it's being compressed. And that just means the quiet areas are as loud as the loud areas. Good. So yeah, a lot of work goes into the channel. The videos are going to be whatever they are over the next few weeks. I will do a supermassive game next that will start up, but it'll start up as soon as I get all the Christmas stuff out of the way in terms of planning for and getting presents for family members and things, so that I don't have to worry about that and then trying to do another 2-hour recording in a week when I probably don't have the energy for it, to be honest, especially since it's been so cold, and the cold does sap the energy from your body. It wicks it away and takes it to a magical place called, God, I'm cold. Oh, my feet. If you do get into a position where you are super cold and you think, I'm going to jump into the shower, just warm myself up, pro tip, warm your feet up gently. Warm your hands and feet up gently, because otherwise you'll get chilblains, and those are painful. Sounds like a thing an old person would get, but it's something I got when I was riding a motorbike. I got super cold one day riding home from work, and jumped in the shower, warmed up, and then my feet, ooh, that was painful. Not the most painful thing I've had on a motorbike. The most painful thing was warming up after getting hypothermia in Exeter services on the M5. Yep, I did about 2.5 hours of riding through sub-zero temperatures, got off the motorbike, got into the building completely numb, and took all my stuff off, helmet, outer armor, over trousers, everything. I just took everything off, gloves and everything, laid down on a bench just inside the entrance, and it was the most excruciating feeling, warming up from hypothermia. And the most interesting fact about that little story, nobody walking into that place stopped to say, hey buddy, are you okay? They just looked at me, surrounded by all this motorcycle equipment, just trying to hold in. I just like gently weeping, because that was, yeah, the most painful experience. I'm gonna leave it there for the time being. So I'm gonna say, if you like these little vlogs, definitely leave a little like, leave a subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. If you want notifications, dingle bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell, and I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.